video es presentado por el Sistema Ciencia Garza Educativa de la Universidad Autónoma del Estado de Hidalgo. Para mayor información, visítanos en www.uaeh.edu.mx. Gracias por aprender.
Okay, hello there. How are you? I hope you're doing it fine. Well, my name is Alan Vigueras Gonzalez, and I work as an English teacher here in Escuela Superior de Tepeji de Río. Today, we are talking about the review of future tenses. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. So, first of all, the objective. In the following video, students will have the opportunity to identify the correct use of simple present, present continuous, and going to express future activities and plans. Now, as you can see, we have three different questions. Let's start by reading them. What time does the train arrive? What are they doing tomorrow? Where are you going to travel next year? As you can see, all of these questions are expressing a future form. However, they are using different grammar structures. We have simple present, present continuous, and going to. So, as we previously mentioned, we have these questions, and now here we have the answers. What time does the train arrive? The train arrives at 5:30 p.m. What are they doing tomorrow? They are having a birthday party tomorrow. Where are you going to travel next year? I'm going to travel to New York next year. So, as you can see, these questions and these answers are expressing future plans. Now, let's talk about more about this grammar structure. Let's check it more in depth. Now, let's talk about present simple. Present simple is used to talk about future events that are planned and are not likely to change. In other words, it is used for the schedule, itineraries, plans, and timetables. For example, what time does the train arrive? The train arrives at 5:30 p.m. As you can see, what we have here is an scheduled event. Let's check the following examples. The last bus leaves at 10 p.m. The movie starts at 7 o'clock. What time does the concert begin? The class does not start at 8 a.m. Once again, all of these sentences are expressing scheduled events, and we are using present simple to express them because they are not likely to change. If the bus leaves at 10 p.m., with a lot of difficulty, this time will be changed. Or if the movie starts at 7 o'clock, if you go to the movie theater, it is hard to believe that the movie will start after this exact time. What we have here are many different questions. We have three types of sentences here. The movie starts at 7 o'clock, which is an affirmative sentence. We have what time does the concert begin, which is an interrogative form. And we have the class does not start at 8 a.m., which is a negative sentence. Says the grammar structure to write simple present sentences with future meaning is the following. As we previously mentioned, we have the last bus leaves at 10 p.m. Every single color that we have here helps us to identify every single part of the sentence. So, for example, the last bus leaves at 10 p.m. The last bus is the subject. Leaves is the verb. And at 10 p.m. is the rest of the sentence. It is clear from the structure that this is an affirmative sentence. Now, in the second sentence, we have the class does not start at 8 a.m. This structure is very similar to the previous one. We have the class, which is the subject, the auxiliary does not to express a negative idea, and the verb in the base form. Remember that when we have the auxiliary doesn't or does not, the verb goes always in the base form. And the blue part is the rest of the sentence. Now, we have the interrogative form. It's very, very simple. We need the WH question word or the auxiliary does, and then the subject, and then once again the verb in the base form. Remember, when we have the auxiliary does in negative or question, the verb goes always in the base form. In this case, we have a WH question, what time, and that is the reason why we write it at the beginning of the sentence. Remember, WH question, auxiliary does, the subject, and the verb in the base form. So there is an important detail to keep in mind here, and it is that when we are using present simple to express future, we cannot use all the verbs. We have to use just the following, which are here in the slide. We have arrive, be, begin, close, depart, end, finish, flight, leave, open, and start. Once again, just these verbs can be used in present simple to express future. Okay, now in this part, we have present continuous. Present continuous is used to express future plans or events, which are arrangements to be more specific, and they are activities or events which are already confirmed with at least one other person, and we know the time and place. So we can say in general that arrangements are planned events that involve other people and the activity has been organized. For example, what are they doing tomorrow? They are having a birthday party. So what are they doing tomorrow help us to identify that there are many people involved in this sentence. We have the time and we have other people. So we can use present continuous to express that they are having a birthday party tomorrow. Let's check the following examples. I'm meeting my best friend after school. He is having a date with his crush. We aren't seeing our family this weekend. And are you having a party for your birthday? So all of these sentences have some things in common, which are that we have the time or the date in which this activity is happening, and we involve other people. For example, I'm meeting my best friend, so it's me and my best friend. He's having a date with his crush, he and his crush. So as in the previous examples we checked, we have the same affirmative, negative, and interrogative sentences. In this case, I'm meeting my best friend after school is affirmative. We aren't seeing our family this weekend is negative. And are you having a party for your birthday is clearly interrogative. The grammar structure to write present continuous sentences with future meaning is the following. We need a subject, we need an auxiliary be, which can be am, is, or are, plus the verb in the ing form and the rest of the sentence. For affirmative sentences, as we have it here, we need a subject, we need an auxiliary, we need a verb in the ing form, and the rest of the sentence. In the negative form, we have the subject, the auxiliary be, plus the word not to transform this sentence into a negative one, plus the verb in the ing form, plus the rest of the sentence. We can use the complete form, which are not or is not, or we can use the contraction, aren't or isn't. Now, in the, for the interrogative sentence or the question form, we have to invert the subject with the auxiliary. So in this case will be, are you having a party for your birthday? We have the auxiliary be plus the subject plus the verb in the ing form and the rest of the sentence. Don't forget the question mark or it won't be a question. There is an important note here, and it's that you can use the present continuous for future plans with these words, or as we call them, time expressions. Tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, next month, next week, next year, this summer, fall, winter, or spring, days of the week, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or next Monday, next Tuesday, next Wednesday, etc. Now, let's talk about a little bit more about going to. We use going to when we want to express. Now, let's talk about going to. We use going to when we want to express an intention, prediction, or something that has already been planned or prepared. For example, where are you going to travel next year? I'm going to travel to New York next year. We are expressing an intention or a prediction or something that has already been planned. In this case, what has been planned is to travel to New York next year. Or at least we have the intention to do it. So we can use going to express intentions or predictions. We use going to for intentions when we have already made a decision to do something. For example, he is going to be an actor when he grows up, or I am going to find a new job. And we can use it for predictions. And well, we use going to predict something that we think is certain or happen or which we have the evidence. For example, the sky is cloudy, it's going to rain, and he is going to break the vase. In both sentences, we have an evidence that something is about to happen. The grammar structure to write going to sentences is the following. Once again, we have affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms. In the first one, he is going to buy a new house is affirmative. We are not going to play soccer is negative. And is Shawn Mendes going to visit Mexico? Interrogative. So, as you can see, we have every single part of the sentence with different color, so we can be sure that we are including all of them when we want to write a sentence using going to. We have the subject, which is he, or I, or we, or Taylor Swift maybe, and then we have the auxiliary be, that can be is, or are, and then going to, remember, going to goes always together. Then we have the verb in the base form and the rest of the sentence. For example, I am going to see my best friend tomorrow. This is an affirmative sentence. If we want to write a negative one, we just have to include not. Not after the auxiliary be. For example, we are not going to play soccer. Or we can use the contraction aren't or isn't. If we want to write an interrogative sentence or a question, we have to start by writing the auxiliary be, which is, or are, then the subject, then going to, then the verb in the base form, and the rest of the sentence. Don't forget to write the question mark or it won't be a question. It's very important to keep in mind that we usually use the present continuous when the activity has been arranged, and we usually use going to for a plan which hasn't been arranged. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope that you find it useful for you. See you next time.